Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of What the Farq with me, Lord Farquaad. As always, great to have you back. We've been a month now since the last video about territory capture, the cluster of that it was, and just how a bad event it was. But Scopely have come out with version 2 of Turf Wars. Do you know what? On the face of this is very interesting, and there are definitely some pros and cons to it. So I want to make sure that you guys ensure that you put down that comment in the comment section below, because again, this is feedback that's coming from the community. And to say, since the launch on Tuesday, there has been multitudes of content creators having a talk about this. We've seen multitudes of discords, some agreeing with the process, some not agreeing with the process. But what it's showing is that Scopely are trying to think of ways to rejuvenate territory capture within the base mechanics that they have currently at this moment in time. Obviously, for us, when territory came along, we were expecting rotational services, so you would be fighting on a weekly basis for new territories and moving across the map like a big giant tremor snake who's going to just eat up everything in your path. But it ended up just a stagnant area. And using an example, DJ was saying on the show the other day, was that for him, he's had the most action. He's had the most action in the last year within territory space than previously before. And others have actually said, you know what, the most action we've had in the last year is when they wiped the board, when we had a server merge. And agree, we had that as well. When this was at 0 and nothing there, there was weeks and weeks of fighting while people were starting to carve out. And what's happened from there over the last couple of weeks, we've had a couple of excursions, some of the mid-level, kind of say, your non-top 10 alliances have now started to get a little bit more confidence and starting to take on and have started to win territory. And that then meant that the number 2 alliance had to really think about where they were, considering that previously, so this is the number 1 alliance here, the number 2 alliance was here. Now they've moved all the way over here, and they have dictated in carving up the map accordingly, so they can stay as far away from us as possible. Hey, we can't help it. If they're scared of us, what can we do? So, coming back to Turf Wars, it was there to let everybody have a chance of getting in from this. Unfortunately, what is actually resulted in is just anyone drops a pin. If you're close to it, drop a pin. Boom, done. And I think the whole intention of this was that you would drop your territory. You just drop your territory and you go and win a territory. Win it, drop it. Win it, drop it. Because you get a lot more points and you get double the points for winning one than you do for just turning up. So Scopely was seeing this, that people, unfortunately, what has happened is people have spent time, resources, negotiation skills in carving up this map to get what they want. For us, we have the hull enhancer, and over the last 4 days where we haven't had it because of the bug, it's now fixed, we really felt not having it. And actually us losing our 3-star and moving somewhere else, no chance, because my ships alone are kind of getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 500,000 additional power just because of the advanced enhancer. So yeah, it's an amazing. But what has happened is we've got this, and people are just doing that. EXO were the only guys. They were up here originally. They lost their 3-star, So they were the only guys to drop all of their things and have been bouncing around. So let's have a quick look at actually how our leaderboard is at the moment. So we've completed as a server. We completed it in less than 3 days. Actually, only 2 days of playing, because what would be Friday? 2.5 days. And if we actually look at the way the leaderboard is at the moment, the highest ranked alliance is number 2 here, is Taz. This is the number 1 alliance here. This is the number 2, 3 alliance here. So these guys here, EXO, are lower down. Wolves, I think, number 5, 1 of 1, UFBB. So there's a really good mixture of different alliances within a leaderboard, which is amazing, because it's something that we don't see very often. What you would see is, if you want to see actually what it looks like in true form, you can kind of, this is the kind of normal, actually EXO doing very well on that actually, and Kaz and Deal are not, obviously they're not putting investment into that. But there's so many different ways, and the problem is we've got one alliance doing it. They have enough resources to do 27 1-star takeovers. And the whole point of this was so that any alliance could drop and go, drop and go. But if we actually look at how much it actually costs to do that, that's 450,000 1-star refined ISO. Okay, so times that by 27, that's a lot. And if, for instance, you were an alliance who maybe only ever had one star system and that was it, or you were one of these alliances who never made it onto the map, for you to actually get onto the map, you needed to have, one, the resources to buy in, and if you wanted to do well in this event, you're going to need a massive pot of resources to keep going through this event. So for me, I think that element is broken. But what it is doing is it's giving others the opportunity who may never, their alliance may never be number 1, number 2, number 3 in regards to the amount of rewards, but it's giving them a chance to. I can see the concept of it, but the bigger alliances who have spent trillions and trillions of dilithium and tritanium and in repair costs and in the amount of time and planning and negotiation that's taking going into place, why would you just give up a system? Why? You just wouldn't do that. I think that is the big problem that is making it very stagnant across other servers as well. Where those that have gone through the server merge and who have had a completely blank map, they say that they have had the most fun because they get an opportunity of fighting again, potentially moving into a new area, and then it calms down after 3 or 4 weeks because everyone's kind of got their territories and maybe the odd little skirmish here or there. But for me, I think an event like this, if you're going to do an event like this, the best way to do it is to clear the board. Event reset on a Tuesday, clear the board. Free reign. If you are stuck in one of those areas, you get relocated out into a 1-star system. So that board is a complete virgin board ready to be touched. If Scopely really wanted to get TC and the PvP element, they could potentially do this every month. Oh my, yeah, I know, crazy thought, hey? You spend 4 weeks trying to carve out and then you lose it. But actually what it will do is it will get you to move into different things. It will get you guys, like here, we're stuck on 4-star ore. I don't need 4-star ore for my dailies. I need gas. I need some more crystal. So it gives opportunities for others to move around the board. And if you want to go for a month and you just as an alliance, you don't want to be on the board. You just want to go and do other stuff. Maybe you want to go out and create a hive somewhere, or you want to go out and do a heavy raiding session. You can do that. You can take a month off because you know within 4 weeks' time, 5 weeks' time, or whatever it is, that it's going to be blank again, and you get to fight again, and maybe you'll go somewhere else this time. And if Scopely can manage to fix the mechanic of service rotation, then there's even further incentive to go for a new system. You haven't got to worry about having to drop everything to move to the other side. Because what you'll do is it'll be completely blank. So you'll go, right, okay, I want this service. I'm going to come in and come down here this time. And we're going to work our way. So there's so many different ways that it can be done. And I say this event, I can see the reason why the event was done. But if you're not going to compete in the events, don't complain about it. It's your choice to not compete in it. And I think that's where the community feels like they should be able to compete in everything. Yes, spend events, that's a whole nother story. But an event like this, the way the mechanics is, you play to the mechanics. And if the mechanics are, you drop all your systems and you jump around to win, then you do that. If you're not prepared to do that, then don't sit there crying and moaning about it. So I see both sides of it. I want territory capture. I want the whole kind of feature of this to work. But it's difficult. It's a difficult thing to get going because of the mixture of different levels, a mixture of different players, different ambitions, different just everything. Every server environment is different. We're now in a dual coalition with a couple of outsiders, and the Raven coalition, they've carved up their bit of the map, and Chaos and kind of have carved up their bit of the map, working with their allies, and it's now gone stale. So a complete refresh of everyone gone be great, because you can then get to do that renegotiation again. You get to just, yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot that can go into this. I think Scopely are going in the right direction, but I think they need to maybe go one step further. And I think wiping the map every 4 weeks would create the drama, the excitement that they as a business see this feature. So I want to make sure that you like, subscribe. As before, I do have a Discord server now, so you can get an automatic update of all of the announcements and videos from What the Farq straight to your server. Keep safe, keep well. I look forward to the feedback from this, and I'll see you again on another What the Farq.